name of the game in drone video is smoothness. Removing as much human input is going to be key. No matter how good you are, you won't be able to move the gimbal while controlling the flight of the drone without some fidgety inputs from your fingers. You need to just embrace automation. Yes, the machines are taking over, and here's why we should let them. The Mavic 3 Pro has several tools to help you tell your adventure in buttersmooth 4K goodness, all the while making you look like an expert drone pilot. Not only will your footage be smooth, but your editing experience will also become so much quicker. You won't have to edit out all those little reposition inputs we've all done in the past. Cruise control. Slow and steady wins the race, right? DJI has automated another move we typically have just done on our own. That steady, straightforward, or even backward drone movement is now a simple set it and forget it option. Push your right thumbstick forward and press your shortcut button on the controller. Now your drone is flying in the direction and at the pace you set without any further input from you. Press the red X on the screen and the cruise control will stop. You can add this feature to a shortcut button in the menu. Hit the three dots in the top right, go to control header, scroll down to button customization. In this menu you can change the button layout to whatever works best for you. Active track modes. You have three different options to choose from here. Active track, spotlight, and point of interest. These all do different variations of tracking movements. Some you've probably always done manually, or even maybe some you thought would be neat to have, well now they give you the option. Point of interest. One of the most classic movements we've probably all done is fly our drone in a circular movement around an object. It's typically done by pressing your thumbsticks both inward or outward at the same time. But often one stick has to be slightly less than the other due to the different speeds both with the directional flight and the axis that your drone rotates on. In other words, the rate at which your drone flies through the air isn't the same rate at which it will spin on its axis, so your thumbs have to figure out this difference real time. All you have to do is select the object you want to track by either selecting the plus symbol on the screen or drawing over it with your finger. Once it's locked in, the tracking menu pops up. Select the point of interest option on the far right and you'll see the screen with the arrows pointing left and right, as well as the slider. The further to either side the slider is moved, the faster the drone will fly in a circle around the target. You can change directions or speed mid-flight, just don't forget to hit the green go button to start the movement. Another option you have is Spotlight. This mode puts your selected target on center stage. The drone will do its best to keep the subject tracked, no matter what you are doing flight-wise. Obviously there are some limitations, but the drone will do its best to keep the spotlight on the subject by limiting movement that would put the target outside the frame or even moving the gimbal to keep the shot. This mode implies teamwork between you and the drone. You keep things reasonable with your joysticks, and it will keep the subject in the limelight. Active tracking allows for those cool follow modes I used to dream about getting with the Mini 2 I had. You've got all your buddies cruising down that dirt road and you've always wanted to follow them for that cool third-person view. Well, now it's been automated as well. With your target selected, choose the far left active track mode. This will give you a screen that has a clock-like control display. This allows you to customize where the drone is following the subject and allows for real-time changes. You can swap from 6 o'clock to 12, 8 to 3, and the drone automatically keeps things framed and smoothly transitions between. I'll put in some examples here. Waypoints are, in my opinion, one step closer to fully automated flight. This is a highly customizable mode where you, again, team up with the drone and create a flight mission that's repeatable, tweakable, human input free, and savable. Selecting the Waypoints icon on the left will open the menu, giving you access to all your settings. To put it simply, you'll fly your drone yourself, plotting out each waypoint using the C1 key to pinpoint waypoints along the way. Keep in mind which way your drone is facing. Make sure it's correct before you setting the waypoint. If you happen to make a mistake, you can select the delete button and remove the last created waypoint. Here's what the waypoint menu looks like. You can see each of your waypoints listed in order of creation. Your first option is the camera action. You can take a photo and start recording or stop recording a video. Altitude is the height from the ground the drone will fly to. It can be changed. Global speed is the speed at which the drone flies the mission. I usually select the custom option and it gives you a slider. Your heading is the direction the drone is flying towards. Gimbal tilt can be adjusted for each waypoint as well as the zoom. Another option is the option to hover for a certain amount of time before going to the next waypoint. To start the mission, once you've got all your waypoints where you want them, tap the grayed out next button. This will bring up a few final settings. Global speed, what it should do at the end of the flight, what to do if the signal gets lost, which waypoint to start with. Once that is completed, simply hit go to start the mission. The drone is going to smoothly fly from point to point, automatically adjusting the gimbal, the zoom, the X and Y and Z all at the same time. This feature I honestly do believe will be a stepping stone towards some sort of artificial intelligence flight. This feature holds lots of creative power, whether you're setting the stage in your adventure or smoothing out a very tricky flight trajectory that requires a little more skill than you can muster. The automation goes even deeper with automated hyperlapse photo modes that can follow waypoints, trajectory, or subjects. Master shots are the cherry on the top with the whole series of automated and tweakable video modes that are fully flown. All you have to do is select the subject and tweak the distance settings. The rest is done for you. To exit Waypoints mode, tap the icon on the left. It will ask you if you want to save your mission before exiting. One of the other features that's new as of an update is Vision Assist, which lets you activate the proximity sensors, giving you the ability to see in two directions simultaneously. I did want to briefly talk about the specs of the drone as well. It weighs in at 958 grams. I'll put the dimensions on the screen here. The size and weight, at first you might say that seems pretty big, but it actually helps a ton with the flight stability. Plus, it allows for that larger battery that's really nice. I do want to briefly talk also about the battery life. I really do think the battery is really nice. The battery life is estimated at 46 minutes of flight time at hovering, and I would say that I get really close to that, especially if I'm not flying a ton or really going after things. 2 eyes are better than 1, and 3 cameras are even better. That is what you have with the Mavic 3 Pro, giving you 166mm, 70mm, and 24mm options. These allow for much more dramatic capture of your subject. New software updates even allow for use of these cameras in several of the quick shot modes. The Mavic 3 Pro is the only drone that has 3 individual cameras. Here's what came in the box with the package I bought. I got 1 intelligent flight battery, 1 protective cover, a wall charger and USB cable, extra propellers and thumbsticks, RC controller, which is super nice, and the Mavic 3 Pro itself. The Mavic 3 Pro has so many more options and features that I did not include in this video. Master shots, quick shots, night camera modes, all the photo modes, hyperlapse modes, on and on and on. These drones are getting good now, and we may as well embrace what's coming and use it to our advantage. As you can see, the drone world has been taken over, conquered, if you will, by a race of artificial intelligence. It is difficult to tell from this vantage point if we will be entirely replaced or merely enslaved. One thing is for certain, there is no stopping it. The next level of artificial intelligence will soon be here. And I, for one, welcome our robot overlords and would like to remind them, as a trusted YouTube content creator, I can be helpful in gathering up others to work in their underground server caves.